Hey everyone. So I'm recording this video because I found a gem of a book. Well, in relevance to the work I'm doing with the 5 elements. And I will be getting into more about this book shortly. It was total coincidence how I decided to read this book. And I wish that I'd found it a little earlier so that I could have incorporated some of the stuff that I'm reading into my book that I just published. However, I'll be telling you all about this find in this video clip, which I will be sharing on Patreon. And I don't know if I'll make it public at some point, but for now, it's just going to be on Patreon. This book talks about the 5 elements, and it's a very ancient account of the elements. And the mind-boggling thing is that it's not an Ayurvedic text. So the main source for Ayurveda is the Charaka Samhita, which was written around 400 to 200 BC. As for the book itself that I'm talking about, it is a book by Plato. Yep, the philosopher Plato. And it was written in 360 BC, so around the same time of the Charaka Samhita. So I don't know who wrote this stuff first. I want to say it might have been, what is it called? Codependent arising. So like something coming out at the same time. Mutual co-arising is the word. Anyway, the book is called Timaeus Critias, which is basically a conversation. It's like a dialogue that takes place between Plato. Well, it was written by Plato, but the dialogue takes place between Timaeus, Critias, Socrates, Hermocrates. All of these guys were talking in this book. And the dialogue begins by describing Atlantis. And it is said to be the only written account of Atlantis. What boggles my mind is that it's crazy because I've been wanting to paint Atlantis for the past couple of months. And in fact, I'm working on a painting, which I'm just going to title Atlantis because for some reason, I thought I was going to paint the water and all of a sudden I started painting this. And I can give you a little bit of a sneak peek since it's right here. So yeah, that's the painting that I'm working on, which I don't know what is gonna come of it later, but basically it's gonna be titled Atlantis. But here's the mind-boggling thing too, is that aside from this being a conversation that these people are discussing, it talks about the conflict between the ancient Athenians and Atlanteans 9,000 years ago. And it is told by Solon, who it was passed to by the Egyptian priests. So there's like a lineage there. And then it came to Dropidas, who is the great grandfather of Critias, who is in the title of the book. And Critias learned it from his grandfather. And so now he's telling the story in this book. So what else is interesting about this? This is the translation done by Benjamin Jowett, I think. I don't know if there are any other translations. I'll have to look into that. And after the introduction, Plato also describes the creation of the world and the explanation of natural phenomena. The only place where he talks about Atlantis is on page 2. And then the rest of it, well, so far as I've gotten to probably around page 33, I'm not even done. No, I'm actually further along. I am in page 50, 51. Most of this is a talk about the elements. Talks about fire, water, earth, ether, air. And I'm just blown away. I'm going to read a couple of passages now for this video, but the main thing that Plato says is that all these elements were made of triangles. And so that is why I have put some triangles in my painting. You know, Atlantis, the 5 elements. So it kind of makes sense. Anyway, let me read some of what he writes about the 5 elements. Okay. So this is on page 33. To which end we must consider the nature of fire and water and air and earth, such as they were prior to the creation of the heaven and what was happening to them in this previous state. For no one has yet explained the manner of their generation, but we speak of fire and the rest of them, whatever they mean. That's one section. And then in another one, he writes, page 39, and I'm sure these are, the translation is differently paged in the actual original manuscript. But so page 39, in the first place then, as is evident to all, fire and earth and water and air are bodies. And every sort of body possesses solidity, and every solid must necessarily be contained in planes. And every plane rectilinear figure is composed of triangles, and all triangles are originally of 2 kinds, both of which are made up of 1 right and 2 acute angles. So there you have it. Plato was talking about the elements, and he was doing this at the same time that the Charaka Samhita, or the major Ayurvedic text, was written. I'm not sure how that happened, but I don't know, maybe they were visiting together. It's just one of those mysteries, I guess. I just felt called to share this here on Patreon, so I hope it was a little intriguing, inspiring. Maybe you're going to get the book and read it. Maybe you're not, but just sharing part of my process here. And who knows where life will take me next. I'm sure to record a yoga video soon as well. So hope you've been practicing the previous recording that I had, and hope to hear from you. Take care until next time.